Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to another TEW episode, number 115 in fact, of this series. So yeah, it's been a long outstanding series, and we have been going since May 2016, and long may it continue as we're into 2020 now, heading into hopefully another blockbuster month of SummerSlam when it happens, and then a good pay-per-view at Survivor Series, and really an interesting card today. You know, it was a couple of people sitting there with not a lot to do, which gave an opportunity to the New Day. They'll all compete tonight for the WWE Championship in a fatal four-way match with Dean Ambrose, or World Heavyweight Championship, I should say. But it's good, it's given opportunities tonight for King Neville to get a good opportunity, Chad Gable, get him on as well, and a proper opportunity for the likes of Cesaro, Chris Hero, and the Usos to tangle with main event talent such as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So I won't bother on too much because there is 21 segments, 245 minutes to go in the show, plus 16 minutes in a pre-show where we give opportunities to the Bulldog and the Authors of Pain. That's wrestlers you'll see up and coming as the series heads in to 2021 eventually. So yeah, thanks as always for watching guys. We'll kick on to the show, and yeah, this is WWE Judgment Day. So 34,974 at the Jones C. Edwards Stadium, and we start off with our first pre-show match, terrible pre-show matchup, which sees the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razar, defeat Heath Slater and Tyler Breeze in 7:49. When Akam defeated Heath Slater by pinfall, Akam also carried this match. In terms of in-ring performance, a D+51, Razar debuts a badass gimmick. Slater and Tyler won't work as a tag team, that's cool, it was just a wee enhancement tag team to make AOP look strong. Razar improving in performance skills. Overall, this does its job, and it gives a bit of exposure to the Authors of Pain. Our second pre-show match, again just putting a talent over. Pre-show match that subpar wrestling and little heat. British Bulldog, or just the Bulldog as known in here, Harry Smith, defeats Christopher Gerrard in 4:02 with a running power slam. 4 minutes, easy squash in a C55 rated match. He's got a gimmick that's getting stale, despite the fact he's just coming onto the main roster with a new gimmick, so I need to amend that. I think it's just the fact we've kept him doing nothing for so long. A good performance, so a 65, will build Harry up, and he'll just be known as the Bulldog going forward. A proper tribute to his dad. That's right, I was going to turn him babyface at one point. I forgot about that. But anyway, let's kick on to the show. So hype up tonight's main event, not a massively overrated match. B79, the New Day's No Chance storyline gets an increase in this segment. The crowd did get to a strong start, and it made the show, the show got off to a strong start, the crowd got hotter. Bring my words together. As I say, I wanted to keep everything away from Ambrose, but I felt like, you know, let's try and give someone else a title shot. I put him in a matchup against Big E, and then I just thought, you know what, let's give everybody an opportunity in the New Day. So I don't think it'll do great from a rating perspective, but it's an opportunity for other talents to see how they deal in a main event-esque spotlight. Start off with everybody's favourite guy at the moment. Velveteen Dream cuts a backstage promo. He's making his pay-per-view appearance tonight. I don't know if it's debut, I can't really remember. But B77, the angle got the crowd hotter, and hopefully we get a strong showing from him. It was a matchup with decent wrestling, and it didn't have much heat. And Velveteen Dream defeats Sami Callihan in 12:08 with a power line, getting better his gimmick. He had a better performance than Sami Callihan. It's a complete work in progress, but with him now being Roman Reigns' protege, it should be a good run to the top for the Velveteen Dream. So a good start there to the show with B-76. Next up, Paige is cutting a promo against Nikki Cross. Last week it was Nikki Cross against Becky Lynch. She beat Becky Lynch, and then she decided to beat down the Irish Lass Kicker before Paige came out for the save. Paige had already won a #1 contender match against, I think it was Sasha Banks the week before. So it's going to be Paige and Nikki Cross next, but a B81 promo, because this is my house, pal, as she stated in the storyline name. Match itself was pretty okay, not amazing, but again it's building Nikki up to get her to that next level. Paige, well, not at the highest level, It's pretty much in an upper mid card in terms of women's division. Was about to had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Nikki Cross defeats fellow Britt Page in 14:59 with a perfect storm. Nikki Cross makes her first defence of the Women's Smackdown Championship. As you can see there, an 80-74. It's not horrible, and I think, you know, once we get Nikki into these matches constantly, where she's going to hopefully get better stamina and won't get penalised for it, we'll start putting proper storylines behind them to get the ratings even higher. Next up, promo from Chad Gable hyping up his match with Baron Corbin. Similar kind of idea here. Basically, Corbin was beating jobbers every week, destroyed Christopher Gerrard one week, then Chad Gable came in and made the save and chased off Baron Corbin. It's really a case of, you know, you think you're a big tough guy, well, why don't you take on me? I've got a legitimate background. So a B+87 as I look to start pushing Chad Gable up the card. Matchup was okay, great wrestling, and a decent reaction from the crowd. Corbin cheats to win in 15:23 while using the ropes for leverage. B78, Gable with 75, Corbin with 93. I think Corbin suffers from he's over, but my main event storylines are tied up, so he doesn't really fit in. And as you'll see here, lack of hot associated storyline. If we put a storyline in place, because it was kind of rushed together, I feel that could have probably been the making Chad Gable, but it could basically span off a rematch at Money in the Bank. You know, could we see both of these competitors in the Money in the Bank match? It could be interesting going forward. And then after the match, basically Corbin beats the shit out of Chad Gable after he's beat him. So an A-star 100, this will start the proper feud right into it. Gable was looking stale, underwhelming to Corbin looking good, but as I say, I really want to push forward these two going forward into a feud, so let's just mark that down on my sheet of paper. If I actually write down a notepad where I'm going with stuff, so I've got an idea. The feud, so Corbin and Gable I want to extend for a few months, and yeah, hopefully it can be the making of Chad Gable. Next up, decent matchup. Ricochet defeats Jinder Mahal in 12:41 with a diving double knee drop at B79. Ricochet was off his game, although had the better performance. Storytelling match. Another reason for this matchup, if you watched the last video, you're aware that Jinder Mahal is signed for Dragon Gate, so he was going to be effectively phased out. So a good spotlight and a good opportunity for Ricochet to get better and allowing the win over Jinder. I will say as well, speaking of people leaving, there has been a massive bid placed by Dragon Gate and New Japan for Aleister Black. I think I've put in 65 grand a week in a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal to try and secure him, but I wouldn't be surprised we'll lose him. They're quite gutted, and the money's there. I could pay him anything, but just try to keep it realistic and what's their worth. If we lose Aleister Black, build somebody else up. But quite interesting that talents are the companies don't want to pay that much for the talent. It just shows we've done a really good job on him. Next up, the loser leaves town match. Decent matchup. Tommaso Ciampa defeats Johnny Gargano 19:41 by 2 falls to 1 after losing the first, with the final fall happening by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. B82, they just never really got over this storyline. As I say, considering how their overness was, it just didn't properly go to that next level. But I made the decision, I feel we need baby faces on Raw, so Gargano will jump to Raw. I'll trade him with a heel from Smackdown, from Raw. I don't know who I'm going to bring over, but someone that can maybe make an impact or someone for the future. But it'll be like a trade. We'll see who that is. Watch this space, I guess, because I don't know who it is at this moment in time. It'll be when I get back to the booker screen. I'll properly see and evaluate the Raw side of things to who would benefit from a move to Smackdown. But overall, decent. That'll be the end of the feud. Ciampa will move on the Smackdown side of things. It's a new beginning for Gargano. It says he's picked up the victory, but this is really just a na goodbye kind of scenario. Basically, just Gargano apologising to the crowd. Obviously sad that he's leaving SmackDown and getting ready to start his new venture under William Regal on Monday Night Raw. Next up, promo with Dean Ambrose, just hyping up the main event match. An A89 promo, the World Heavyweight Championship. It was really just to boost more heat into the storyline. Looked good, and basically just saying the usual. Shane McMahon's got out for him. He feels like he's got his back against the wall job in this one, and he's not going to lose it to the Rudy. He'll take any cheap way out that he can to retain his title. Actually done not too bad. Quite surprised at that. I did make it early in the card, admittedly, because I was really unsure of Kofi and Xavier's overness. But a good matchup with decent wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Dean Ambrose defeats Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods and Big E in 22:52, when Dean Ambrose defeated Kofi Kingston by pinfall with the Midnight Special. Dirty Deeds, whatever you want to call it. Ambrose makes the 5th defence of the WWE World Heavyweight title. In terms of in-ring work, head and shoulders above everyone else. That's cool. As I say, I'm happy they get a B+88 though, because it then shows, maybe Kofi, Big E and Xavier at the next level could actually, make it. So a couple of improvements for Kofi. Dean improves flying, negatives, just a few there, but nothing major. Intriguing that the storyline was actually over enough to carry a good match, and it probably could have been a lot more higher in the card than it actually was. But Dean Ambrose remains your World Heavyweight Champion. Next up, promo from the Usos. They've been down since day one-ish. A90, very good there. Obviously, it's no real shock about the storyline is here. Sami Zayn was being attacked. He'd taken up space on the Smackdown roster, taking up airtime, taking up the Uso time, and then Kevin Owens saves his best friend. Yes, I had this plan before WWE brought them together, so fuck you, WWE. Yep, so big match up tonight for the Tag Team Championships, triple threat match. How will it draw? Fantastic. A90, and about that had superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. The team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated the Masters of Wrestling and the Usos. 20 minutes away. The Masters of Wrestling went out first, then the Usos, and it means that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Usos getting Berry's gimmick. They had great chemistry. What I'm absolutely amazed at and so happy with is the ratings of every wrestler in particular. Cesaro went 85, considering declining physical ability. 86 for Chris Hero, same situation. 92 for Jimmy Uso, and 91 for Jey Uso. 95 for Sami Zayn, and a 97 for Kevin Owens. So well done, everybody there. That's a stellar matchup. Couple of skill improvements. And it makes you wonder, if the storyline maybe had more heat, would that have been up to an A+? It's an interesting one. Everybody's wondering how I did eventually book it. KO wins, regular, just slow build. Slow build always will get a good result, I've noticed in this, if you get the right amount of time. But good match up there. Quite tempted to do a rematch at Money in the Bank, maybe give them more time. Pretend it's a TLC match, considering, as I say, I know that would hamper the matchup rating massively. But good result for the tag division. Hopefully can build some individual stars eventually at the Usos, and a good way to phase Cesaro and Hero down the card, while at the same time showing they can still do it at a high level. And after the matchup, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn celebrate. Not quite like Clash of Champions, I don't think we'll have the champagne in that out, but an A90, Sami looked good. The storyline gained some heat. Next up, Neville in the co-main event. Promo B+88. He says it's been disrespectful that he's been landed with the cruiserweights. He showed he was the king there. He's now the former king of the cruiserweights. And it's time he takes out some of the heavyweights, or the proclaimed heavyweights, in the WWE. Starting with Seth frickin' Rollins. So how will it go? How will the matchup go? I'm get high hopes for these two. Yes. And about that had superb wrestling and great heat. Seth Rollins defeats King Neville in 22:51 with God's Last Gift. A95. Seth Rollins has pretty good chemistry with King Neville. 96 for Seth and 91 for Neville. Storyline advances and gains heat. It does show that Neville does have a future in the main event scene. So good one for Seth, keeps him looking strong, but great showing by Neville. And Seth Rollins debuted a spectacular new high spot that showcased his aerial ability. His psychology will be helped by able to use it as a go-home or go-to spot in the future. Cheers, Road Dogg. How's that SmackDown creative working for you? Next up, promo from Roman Reigns, hyping up AJ Styles. This is our main event. IC title is going to main event the show. A91, Roman's is getting stale, but they're a masterful job of improvising. Who'd have thought that? Performance was good. It's just basically showing, you know, he's took this IC title and he's going to take on all comers, but it doesn't matter who you are, your ability, your backstory, he's still going to reign supreme. My worry here is it's a long match and AJ's declining physical ability, but he's good enough. How can he carry this one? Let's see. Fan-fucking-tastic. Well done to both guys there. I've nearly hit my mic off in excitement there. Another superb matchup. Roman Reigns defeats AJ Styles 23:08 by pinfall, making the second defence of the IC title. A-Star 95, Roman with 93, AJ with 76. The storyline gains heat and advances. This was another one, as I say, lots of negatives for AJ Styles. Inconsistency, stamina, declining physical ability. He's in the top 5 declining athletes. But promo-wise, he still knocks out the park, and if you put him with the right athlete, they can carry on a good victory, or a good matchup at least. So delighted with that. I'll keep pushing AJ as high as I can until his ratings are dog shit. But great performance for both guys. Even with a poor rating like that at 76, still a stellar match. Of course, we end the show with the big dog celebrating. Crowd, depending on who they are, kids will be cheering, the women will be cheering, everybody else will be like meh. But overall, as I say, Roman's been absolutely fantastic in this save for me. That's why he's pushed to the moon, and that's why he will always have a title belt, even though in this case, the IC title. So we end the show, A94, we increase our popularity in all 45 regions that watch this on the WWE network, so increase of popularity across the board. I think it was justified in not making the WWE title the main event. It's probably going to have lower prestige in the IC, but a good opportunity, and I think they took it with the New Day. Great matchup between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Usos, and the Masters of Wrestling. Neville showed they can certainly cut it, and Roman and AJ as well. Great debut on pay-per-view, I think, for Velveteen Dream. Okay matchup with Nikki Cross and Paige. Definite potential with Baron Corbin and Chad Gable. So I'd definitely say the Smackdown side of things, when you add in the fact that this is them without Shane Strickland, Kenny Omega, I'd have to look at my roster to name more, but there's plenty of guys that probably should have been on the card that certainly weren't. Your Cruiserweight champion missed it completely, so he'll probably be pissed off. Austin Aries, Akira Tozawa, these kind of people all missing tonight's show. Probably should have done a Cruiserweight match, but I kind of rushed it and forgot, but oh well. Paying as much attention as WWE is to 205 Live, so I think we'll go AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and King Neville. The reason I'm not doing Roman is I just feel like it's a rare appearance from Neville on this kind of side, and AJ showed he can still handle it. So AJ's pleased, Seth's pleased, and the King of the Cruiserweights is pleased as well. So overall, it has to be said, a very good end to the month of May. We'll now enter June, which I believe gives us 3 or 4 weeks build to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. We'll confirm that in a second. So, great review, that's good to see. Let's have a look. Dragon Gator in a crisis. Can we poach them? Don't think we'll be able to. The Fulton National. Nah, I wouldn't think they'd be financially screwed. They still have an absolutely immense roster. If we cut through it, they've got, just in terms of WWE names, Luke Harper's in there, Jack Swagger, Shelton Benjamin in there. I'm pretty sure he's on the shelf, but they also do have a Mr. CM Punk, and that, as I say, is where Jinder Mahal's going. So they're down to National. Jinder's heading in on a big contract as well, so maybe we could buy them back. We'll buy them out one day. To be seen though, let's see how that goes. Another Wild at the weekend, ready to have a New Japan tour. An All Japan tour, sorry. But yeah, pretty much a good weekend. We've got a first refusal on our graduate, Harold Plotchek. Let's see if we can have a look at him. Average, strong as a babyface. He is a regular wrestler trained at the WWE Square Go Centre, so he's Scottish. Excellent. He turned pro in June 2020, fighting out of Edinburgh. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. He can switch between both babyface and heel. He's good at weird characters and gimmicks, and he uses the discus body smash as a regular wrestler? Does he not just sound like somebody that's say like an Undertaker Kane type character, judging by that? But of course we'll sign him straight away into a development deal with Lucha Underground on a 5-year deal. Basically with Lucha Underground developmental, and he'll get over this a lot quicker. So yep, Harold plot check will go there. As I say, we're still trying to conclude the renewal of Aleister Black, but let's have a look through the few wee bits we've got here. Finished first in the national battles in the States and in Canada, also in Mexico, and the first out of 3 in Japan as well, so that's a good sign there. Yamato Doratuba Japan, Hashimoto's been offered one from there as well. More contracts being offered to Tommy End, so we need to have a look into that. I'll just give you an idea of the crazy contracts. So we're the only one he's seriously considering, which is 64,000 after 4 years. We've got a rival though, 52,000 after 5 years, so they've given him an extra year and a better signing bonus. And 52 for 4 years is what Dragon Gate have given him, so I just felt like just make sure we sign him back up. 4-year deal takes him to 39. That's the ideal age to start to phase a wrestler down. I think 30 to 37, 38 is when you should be pushing them. 38 is when they'll start their decline. And the save. 42.39 on the network. Drug testing was 3k, and Dean Ambrose doesn't like Razor. I'll just select all them and delete them. But things are going well. It was another good profitable month. 12 million to be precise. We're at 502 million in the bank. So we are, as I say, not in any pressure to. We could spend any money we want, but I'm trying to keep it realistic in the sense that we wouldn't be paying 100 grand to every wrestler. Pretty much solid there. International company. We're never going to get to global until we get back on television on Raw to America. We need to wait a year for that. I think it's maybe 6 months now, but I had a couple of bad shows, took off the network, so I just need to suffer the consequences for that. Is what it is. A few morale issues, like as I say, Austin Aries, Drew McIntyre for not being on the pay-per-view. Drew's another one that missed it. The likes of just not using Austin Aries, Killian Dane as well. The interesting one, as I say, Mark Haskins, he'll be leaving. I don't really have anything for him, and I don't want to just like go down that route as what I'd previously done and just sign every wrestler to the company. Let some of them get in flourish, make a name for themselves, get popularity on the indies or Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan, Dragon Gate, and then we'll maybe sign them back down the line. That's what I like to do. But yeah, Money in the Bank and the Women's Money in the Bank tournament is scheduled for this month. It's the 3rd month, so 3 weeks worth of build. Interestingly, as I say, this video has been recorded generally just like an hour after last week's went up because of how delayed it was, and I managed to go on a bit of a booking momentum run. You know, you book a lot of shows in quick succession. One comment I did catch, Brian said Bo Dallas to win Money in the Bank. It's interesting. I do have my eyes on who I think is going to win it. It might be Bo Dallas, but there is someone on the Smackdown roster that could benefit it. And plus, if we give it to Bo, I know see Mojo Bojo, but there's 2 angles I could run, and I'll put it this way: Bo will be considered as one person for it, but there is someone else I'm really high on, and they do need that push. They're at that perfect age where we can go, right, there's the contract, keep it for a while, and then go. Because it won't be somebody that cashes in straight away. I imagine the next cash in, try and extend it as long as we can. Women's wise, I don't know how to put it on. So we're in a good position where Nikki Cross is champ, Charlotte's champ, Dana's over, Asuka's over-ish. None of the 4 horsewomen need it. Could we maybe break out someone like one of the Iconic Duo? Does Alexa get it to relaunch her career? So there's a lot of places we could go. Any ideas? Let me know anyway in the comments section. But cheers for watching, guys. It's been much appreciated. As I say, any predictions for Money in the Bank? Let me know who you think should be winning both contracts. Any predictions to the card? Because right now I don't have a Scooby who's even going to win the match or the other matches. I'll need to sit and plan that after this video. Any thoughts on this card? Do you feel there's anything that maybe surprised you? Have you ever tried that? Any wrestlers who just went, here's a main event chance for you to see how they go, test the waters effectively, Have you had any success stories? So similar to we had with the New Day. Do you feel I should be looking to drop the Trios Championships because it really does seem like it is an afterthought? Let me know on that as well. And yeah, just generally how you feel the wrestling world is. And of course, I'll quickly mention, as I say, any likes, comments in general wrestling. Subs are all deeply appreciated. But this video, if I'm right in saying, will go live on Christmas Eve. So if I don't speak to any of you guys over social media in any sort of forum, whether it be Twitter and the like, please have cracking Christmas Day, happy holidays. Next video should drop live, should be Money in the Bank on Hogmanay or New Year's Eve. If not, we'll come back on the 6th of January, and as well, hopefully, some Football Manager content as well. But cheers for watching, guys. Have a good one. And if I don't speak to you, I'll see you in the new year. Bye bye.